Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Your Success. And we have our amazing mentor and coach, Dan Olsen, in the house. How are you doing, Dan?
Amazing. It's wonderful to be here as always, Marjorie.
Oh, and it's such a pleasure for us to
Thank
have
you.
you and to get to learn more about franchises. So one of the concepts that we learned about franchises is that we truly need to have that passion for the franchise brand that we're representing. And there's something called the get out of bed test. So what is the get out of bed test?
Well, that is one of the best tests you could ever imagine to get into franchising. And you hear the word all the time, passion in business. You want to have passion for your business and don't do it. Do what you love. Do what you love to do. But you know, most people when they start out in business or even in franchise, they don't know what that passion is yet. Some people do, but most people don't. So as I've already said in other episodes, is when I was doing the hair salon business, most people didn't know that the hair salon business was the right thing for them. Or most people didn't even know maybe the food business was right for them or whatever it was. They had to understand it and feel that passion, then they jumped into it. But the get out of bed test is something that is just, it makes life so much happier, so much easier if you know that you're actually playing in your business. And it's something you really look forward to. You can hardly wait to get up in the morning and get over there and jump into it because it's so exciting. And I see that all the time. People just are so happy to be involved with that business. But there's, of course, programs and systems on how to understand whether this is that type of business for you.
That's right. And I feel like the get out of bed test is kind of like you just forget about the money. You just are so excited and so happy to just get out of bed and go straight to your franchise and go visit it and see what's going on and participate on it. And speaking about participating on a franchise, what are some of the roles that we as a franchise owner could have? Because some people are more hands-on, some other people are like, I don't have that much time. So what are some of those roles that we could expect?
Well, first of all, there's three different ways to participate in a franchise, typically. Number one is full time, full speed ahead. So you leave your job or maybe you've been downsized or whatever it is, and you just want something that occupies your time and something that you're excited to be in. That's full time, full speed ahead. That's the good get out of bed test. That's when you want to be there. And so therefore you don't have to pay a manager. You don't have to pay anybody else to do that for you. You can take all that extra profit and put it in your pocket because you're already passionate about it. This is where you want to spend your time. So that is the full-time aspect of it. So therefore it really kind of becomes a job, but it's still your own business. You're building some equity in it. The second way to jump into franchising with your time is what's called semi-absentee owned. And we've talked about that before, and that's where you're spending 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on the type of franchise every week in your business, but you're working your job over here. You're seeing it more as an investment. And so you've allowed other people to come in and build it for you, and you oversee that. And then you're with the full-time, obviously you're involved with every aspect of your business. You're involved with the marketing, you're looking over the accounting, you're taking care of hiring employees, and you're motivating your employees. You're looking at the food orders, or you're looking at the inventories, and you're doing all that and making sure it's all done properly. And you'll want to know how to do that anyway as a franchise. But with the semi-absentee owned, you've got someone else handling a lot of that. You're still going to be looking at the marketing, you're still going to look at the accounting and the numbers and have an accountant take care of things for you, bookkeeper, so that you can manage all that properly. But and then of course spending the time with employees, with your most important assets is that, and that's your employees. Taking care of them, listening to them, making sure they're happy. But that 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a week doesn't take usually a lot of time when you get to that process. So that's semi-absentee owned. The third thing when you're talking about franchising and spending your time is what's called absentee ownership.
Oh.
And that's what a lot of people are striving to be, because absentee ownership, you're jumping into the franchise and working it, but sometimes with absentee ownership, that means absentee profits.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So you might want to back up and go more semi-absentee owned. But it's usually the franchisees that have 10, 12, 15 units. You have a manager now that runs the managers, a general manager, in other words. So you've got that cushion and that little bit extra. That's the time you can be more absentee rather than over just one. There's usually not enough
That's right.
room in the profits to be absentee owned. Once in a while, you might find it, especially if there's residual income coming in. So, but the day-to-day stuff there is, like I mentioned, the main thing there is marketing. You just want to pay attention to what's bringing the clients in the door.
That's right. And I feel like when you mentioned all of these roles, let's say that you're an accountant and you love being an accountant and you're opening your franchise. There's ways for you to participate on your business. I mean, you could be the accountant of that one franchise brand and still go and check on your employees, but you let a manager do the rest
Correct.
of the other roles that you are not comfortable of doing because you just don't know how to do them. And it's super cool how you can actually have your own experience from work in other companies or in other industries and blend it into your own franchise as an owner. Also, one of the things that we got on social media as a question is like, how do you define what clientele you're targeting?
So that's your target audience. And the target audience.
Is there like a tool or something that tells you that target
well,
audience?
one of the easiest ways, back in the days, and we can still do it, and generally even with direct mail. So we can target, people who have a certain amount of money in the bank. And we can target age, and we can target a few other things like that. But that's a little more limited. It's more demographic there. But when you start getting to social media, the beautiful thing about social media with, like, for example, Facebook or whatever, the target just becomes so fine that you can target almost exactly the person you want. And there's a couple different stages of that we've used. So, for example, we can look at the psychographics and we can look at people who in a particular territory and their likes about the types of movies they like or the types of food that they like that they're promoting. That all comes out. So that's all sitting there on their Facebook profile. But more importantly, one of the things that we use is profiling is like audience.
Oh.
So the like audience is pretty amazing because once you get an initial email list, and you got to get an email list, no matter what business you're in a franchise, you've got to collect your emails. So as you get those first few clients in the door and you've collected, say, 100 emails, it can be as little as 100 emails. Now what you can do on Facebook, for example, and it changes from time to time, so this may be a little bit outdated information, but the idea here is to take those 100 emails, put them into Facebook, and target like audience. So now all these emails attached to their Facebook profiles, it allows us to target that exact same audience that matches with those emails. Now go out and grab all the others that match this target audience. So it's the miracle of how we target today is beautiful. But I don't understand it all, and the franchisor will understand it better than most franchisees. But there's already a system in place for you to tap into, so that you don't have to know all that.
So if you don't know what audience you are expecting on your business, you can always reach out to the franchisor and they already have an idea of who they're targeting. That is so cool. And it's amazing how you always have this support, because once you like this system that the franchisor is giving you, your chances to succeed are just limitless.
Yeah.
And now another of the questions that we got on social media was, how can you find how much you can scale your business? Are there any tools or anything that the franchisor is providing the franchisees?
They have all the tools, and that's something you want to ask for to see before you become the franchisee and feel that passion about the business. Is sometimes what we recommend that they do is actually go in the business and work side by side, even if it's a couple hours. If you're sitting there in a food place, you're just working side by side, seeing how it works, see how you feel about it. Or if it's a service type business, it could be dry cleaning, it could be whatever it is, you could be working side by side, see how you feel about it. That's one way to kind of test that. But even more so, get to that next level, ask to see those tools, the systems that they have in place. How do we analyze the markets? How do we analyze the tools that you're using? You want to see those results, and they should freely be able to give those to you.
That's right. And the cool thing is that they can also share with you what the mission and the core values that they have, because that also tells you a lot of the franchise. How have you seen knowing the franchise motto or mission helped you into your brand?
So hopefully the franchisor does have some type of mission, and they may have various missions enclosed within the franchise system.
Mhm.
But that's part of the process as you learn uh, more about the franchise company, is what their mission is. And where you find out what that mission is, probably one of the better places. You can hear it from the franchisor and their advisors and their team members and their officers. That's an important place. But one of the big places that I get to understand what their mission is all about is talking to other franchisees. Being present when they're present at a gathering is usually one of the best places, because you can do it all at once. You don't have to be calling them, and sometimes that infringes on their time. But if they're already going to be on a Zoom meeting, or even at a location where you have 2 or 3 franchisees, that's where you really talk about the mission and understand that mission. And so once you can get behind that mission, that's what helps you get out of the bed in the morning, because I want to support this mission too, and move the whole company as well as yourself forward.
That's right. And I feel like once you know the mission of the franchise that you are supporting, you just get to love the franchise. And in a sense, I feel like a franchise is it's kind of like your baby. You need to love your baby.
It is. Yeah.
So, and also the more you know about your franchise, the more you love it, the better and the easier it's going to be for you to progress and make sure that even your employees get to feel that love as well. Any last tips that you can give us so we can truly know that this franchise is the right one for us?
Yeah, the biggest thing I mentioned is talking to other franchisees, but also experiencing. So one of the things that brings you the passion, especially in a food franchise or even a service type franchise, is experiencing that service. So when we were doing, well, let's say it's a massage franchise, well, you're going to go experience the massage and see how you feel. What's different about it? How do they offer it versus someone else? And once you feel that and it's the right thing, you'll know. And it helps you to make that decision even better, as long as the numbers are backing it up. So that's more the emotional side, but you'll always want to have the analysis of the numbers, because why do you buy a business? Why do you get into a franchise? Is it just to feel good about yourself? You buy it because you want to make money. So you got to know the numbers. And for me, and for maybe not as many people, but for me, analyzing those numbers and seeing what those are all about is what really gets me excited.
That's right. And we are super excited to also have you as our mentor. And we are super grateful that we actually can get the support of your team. So for all your audience right there, how can we contact you?
So we're here to help support. And we love to do this. In fact, I've done this myself personally thousands of times. My team have done it collectively thousands of times. The best paycheck that we receive is to be able to help people make that right decision. That's the best paycheck. The money is great, but to see that satisfaction is really, really important. So for us, we care about that, and we would love to spend time with you, understanding what works best for you in the franchise world. And it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be something that's huge investment either. There's ways for you to get into franchising even at a lower investment. So let us help you through that. My team is more than happy to do that. And I think, what do we have?
We can definitely get you a link for a consultation. So follow the link on our bio, and you are more than welcome to sign up for a consultation with our amazing coach, Dan, and his awesome team, so you can find the franchise of your dreams. Then again, thank you so much again, Dan, for all your help and for teaching us about franchises. We love franchises now.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. And feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about franchises. See you in the next episode.
Thanks.